Hey guys, welcome back to Sparkman Homestead. My name is Krista. Today I am in the kitchen. I have another project that I have to get done. Recently we have a huge expense that came up, so we are trying to really cut costs everywhere we possibly can and try to save some money. So one thing that I want to do is make Steven some stuff for his lunch. If you are new here, Steven is my husband. He does work away from the home full time every single day. Well, not every single day. He works the Monday to Friday days, and sometimes he works the odd weekends. But anyways, he is at work a lot, and one way that I thought we could really try to reduce some of our expenses is not having him eat out. He is really good with taking leftovers for work, but recently I've just not been cooking really big meals. I've just really been, with the pantry challenge and stuff, I've just really been paring back a lot. We haven't had a lot of extra leftovers for him to take to work. So today I have a couple of different little projects that we're gonna get done today. I have this recipe for a Copycat Starbucks egg bite. I will leave the recipe linked for you guys below. We're gonna make this today. I have made this in the past and they are really delicious. The other thing that I wanna get done is I wanna get him some burritos and put those in the freezer. And last night for supper, I made these chicken toscadas, I think they're called. I'll leave the spelling below because I am not pronouncing it right. In fact, I know I'm not pronouncing it right. But I made them last night and they were huge, like ginormous. Steven's like, he said to me, I've never had a Tosquito this big before. It was like the size of a burrito. You'll see it on my What We Eat in a Week video. I think you'll probably end up seeing it this upcoming Saturday. But yeah, they were huge. So we're gonna make some more of those today. They were really big, but they were actually really delicious. So I think today we're gonna make some chicken ones and we're also going to make some beef ones. I've never made the beef ones before. Last night I was just experimenting with the chicken and they were good. And so after we had those, I said to Steven, okay, I'm good now. We've tasted them. I can now make these safely for your lunch because I did not want to make a huge freezer batch of them and have us not like them. And then they would just be sitting in the freezer and it would be a complete waste. So one thing that's nice about these chicken Tostitos, again, I'm not pronouncing it right. I'm sorry guys. I'm like literally butchering that word, but I'm able to use my canned chicken. If you've seen on last week's freezer meal, or actually it was 2 weeks ago that video came out, I said I only had one package of chicken breast left. So my canned chicken, you got right here, is coming in handy this week. I have used already 3 cans of it this week. The other thing that I have canned up down here is some ground beef. I really like this. It's really easy to make a quick, easy taco dinner with. So I think what we might do is, you know what? I think I might actually save my canned ground beef. I like having shelf-stable meat. I think we'll just use this stuff from my freezer, which we better go and get it out of the freezer now. Seedling update. I just cut these yesterday. Oh, and the other fun thing I want to show you. I have to pardon the pink lights. Hopefully the camera will pick it up with these pink lights. Actually, let me shut them off. Okay, I shut the pink lights off. That way it's easier to see. Look at all of my lettuces and this is kale coming up. We have lots of broccoli coming up. So exciting. This particular one right here, this is a snowball cauliflower. This seed, or these seeds, were I think 3 years old and I'm not really getting any good germination on them. Nothing's really popped up yet. So I might re-sow some of these with some newer seeds because I really would like to get some cauliflower in. I've noticed that the seeds that are at least a couple years old, actually 3 years old, their germination is really poor. So I'm probably gonna have to start some more cauliflowers, and then it looks like also there is a couple of the cabbages that aren't really getting good germination. The other thing that we started is we have our peppers started, but we don't have any germination on those yet. So we can't say happy birthday to any of these guys yet. While we're here, I might as well water them. So I have a heating mat for my peppers because they need heat to germinate. I just keep a little towel on the floor here. And then I got this at Dollar General. It's really cool. You just push it down like this, and then it's just a mister. You just mist our seeds with it. I love it. I think it was like 2 something or $3. Maybe it was $5. I don't know. It was at Dollar General, so it wasn't at the Dollar Tree. You just pump it and it creates more mist. Just put the humidity dome back on it. Put it back over here. This is one of the reasons why I start my peppers really early, is because they take a really long time to germinate. And even once they germinate, they take a really long time to grow. So I am in zone 7B, so I like to get them started pretty early. I'm gonna do my tomatoes probably in a couple of weeks. I don't start my tomatoes right away because they tend to grow really fast for me. And then what happens is they are just ginormous and starting to get like sick because they need to be up potted by the time it's time for me to actually pot them up. So I'm gonna start them a little bit later than I normally do. So I think I could probably actually leave the humidity dome off of all of these because it looks like they're all germinated, except for those cauliflowers. So I'll probably have to go today and plant a couple more little cauliflowers. We kind of got a little bit off topic from me starting to cook, but I just realized I forgot to water these this morning. So yeah, I'm gonna leave the humidity dome off of these because they are all germinated. I actually did an Instagram post today, just making a comment about this particular lettuce right here, like this whole row of lettuce right here. These are Dollar Tree seeds. The seeds are a non-GMO. I paid 25 cents for them, and look at, they are coming up the same as packages that I paid 3 something for the seeds. So just because it's at the dollar store does not mean that the seeds are not good seeds. They are definitely good seeds. And if you are just getting started out with gardening, Dollar Tree or like a dollar store in your area is a great option to look for some seeds. You also got to up-plant or up-pot some of these. These ones are my huckleberries, and look at how big they are. They're getting huge. And then we got sage. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up, but probably won't pick it up because my face. But look at these leaves. I'm so excited. A lot of my sage died this year, so we're gonna get some more started, but it looks like there's quite a bit of stuff on here that I actually need to get up potted. Only got a couple of feverfews that came up. I'll probably have to buy some more feverfew seeds because I purchased them like a really long time ago. And then we have a couple of goji berries, which is really cool. I put the whole pack of goji berries in here, and out of that I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that germinated. There's also gnats on it, which is probably why some of them aren't germinating and looks like they're getting eaten. It's probably the gnats. I'm gonna have to maybe sprinkle some cinnamon on this. Cinnamon sometimes helps with the germination. And then look at my chamomile. It's all starting to come up. It's too cold outside still to plant them, even though this week we're supposed to actually get into the 70s, which is amazing. I'm so excited about that. Okay, I'm on the floor now and I have to try to get up off the floor, which is always a fun thing at my age. Okay, we have to say hi to the artichokes. Look at these guys. And look at all the roots on the bottom. I really need to get these actually probably up potted, some of them. Okay, let's get back to the cooking. Okay, we're coming in here to get ground beef. We will get maybe just 1 pound of ground beef. That's the only thing. And I forgot to take it out, so probably have to do these taquitos later on. I'm so excited about tonight's supper too. I am making a ham and cheese pocket, but you guys will have to wait for that almost fell down the stairs. Okay, so let's get everything out that we need. So I'm gonna leave the bell peppers out of this because Steven's not a super fan of bell peppers. We needed to get the spinach out of the freezer. Could I put kale in it? No, we'll get the spinach out. It uses a lot of eggs too, which is really good because our chickens are now laying about 16 eggs a day. 16 eggs a day. We have about 20 chickens and 16 eggs is a lot of eggs per day. So Steven does take some eggs to work, and then we do have neighbors that like to get eggs from us as well. But yeah, we definitely are in the eggs again. So this one uses 16 eggs, which is perfect. Got some ricotta cheese here. am gonna use some smoked cheddar in this. The original recipe calls for Gruyere or white cheddar, but this is white cheddar. It's just smoked white cheddar. So we're gonna use that. Diced ham. So when I make a ham, it always makes like so much ham, and we're not gonna eat it all in that one setting. So what I like to do is cut the ham up into pieces and just vacuum seal it and seal it into like meal-sized portions. So tonight we're making the ham and cheese pockets. These call for diced ham also, so we're gonna get this ham used up. I took this out yesterday afternoon and thawed it. So we got that out. What else do we need? We need a whole bunch of spices. I need to go back to the freezer in the garage and get the spinach. I will be right back. Okay, I made a decision, well, that short time of me going to the garage. So I got my bag of frozen spinach. What I'm gonna do, because I forgot to take the ground beef out last night, and we actually need the ground beef for the burritos and the Tostitos, or whatever they're called. Just accept that that's how I'm saying it right now, but that's probably not the right pronunciation. Anyways, we're gonna use the ground beef that I canned up, because that way I don't have to worry about it thawing, and that is the whole purpose why we can the meat, for quick, easy meals. So I got one for my burritos, and I got one for the, whatever we're gonna call them. I'll leave it on the bottom. So we're gonna get started with the Starbucks egg bites. Did I shut the fridge? I did. Okay, so 325, we need to get the oven preheated. And then it says fill a baking dish 3/4 with hot water and place it on the bottom rack of the oven as soon as you turn it on. Okay, let's turn that off. I think what we're doing by this is we're creating steam in the oven just to kind of bake these eggs. So I'm gonna use this little baking dish, and I'm gonna fill it 3/4 of the way full. I'm just gonna use hot tap water for it. It does say hot water, but my water from my tap does get pretty hot. Okay, so what did I say? 325. Put this in the oven. 325. You know what I was thinking? I'm actually not gonna show you guys the word that I can't pronounce, the Tostitos. The reason why I'm not gonna show you is because that is actually going to be on my Meals of the Week video. So I don't wanna repeat myself all in one week. So stay tuned for that video and you'll see how I make them, or if it's already come out, then you'll already have seen how I made them. So we're gonna get started on the egg bites though. Okay, so this recipe wants me to saute the spinach and the bell peppers, but because we're using frozen spinach, I'm actually just gonna steam it because we're not using the bell peppers. So we're just gonna omit that whole step. We're just gonna go right to getting the eggs ready. Now I need to get my muffin tins out. Pour them in here. Ouch. I think we might double the batch today too. Get lots of these little egg bites out. These are so perfect for Steven to take for his breakfast in the morning. I got my little steamer basket out, and this is what we're gonna use for the spinach. So the original recipe calls for 4 cups of chopped spinach, baby spinach. We'll just put this. Just got a whole bunch of these bags from Azure. I love this. This has come in handy so much, having this. Just adding greens to meals really helps. Okay, I'm just gonna lightly steam those because we are gonna be cooking them. I'm gonna use these in my muffin tins. That way they come out easy, and then it's easier for Steven to take them also. I am actually just gonna leave this ground beef in my fridge so that it can thaw out and I can use it for supper tomorrow night. Okay, while we're waiting for the spinach, we're gonna get this ham diced up because we need to have it diced up for tonight too. So might as well do it all now. This was a ham that I cured myself. I think this was our Christmas ham, or maybe not. No, it says I froze it in April. So delicious. We don't eat a lot of pork roasts. We actually love to have just ham and then sausage. You could use deli meat in this as well. If you didn't have like ham that you could dice up, you could use turkey too. That would be really delicious in this also. We've got a little bowl to put our ham in. Hopefully those aren't too big. They shouldn't be too big pieces. I need to roll my sleeves up. They keep falling down. I cannot wait until it is t-shirt weather. I mean, today it's supposed to, I think, get up into the 70s. And then we're supposed to drop back down for a little tiny bit, but then we're supposed to consistently be up. And then our nighttime lows are gonna be like 45 soon. So I'm thinking this week is the week for me to get my radishes put in. And then also I'm gonna just kind of chance it and put some lettuce in, because lettuce can definitely survive 40-degree nights. So I think I might gamble a little bit and do that this weekend. Forgot to put the towel underneath my cutting board and it's spinning around again. Steven also likes to make omelets, so if I can have diced ham in the fridge for him, he can make a really quick omelet one morning. Okay, I had to go and change my shirt because I was overheating in the kitchen. So a couple of things that I noticed when I came back down, because I just washed my 16 eggs. Looking at this recipe, I realized that the ×2 was clicked off, so the amount of eggs and everything I'm giving you is the recipe doubled. So when you go and click on this recipe, you can either have it regular scaled, so just one recipe, you can double it or you can triple it. I accidentally, when I printed it off, hit the double button. So I'm fine with doubling it because, again, I love to have this stuff in the freezer. So just be aware when I'm giving you these measurements, it is everything doubled. So I also realized upon reading the recipe that everything needs to get put into the blender. So I put my bowl away, we got my blender out. So we need to get, let's go to the back of the page here. I love having these covers on my recipes. That way when I'm using them, they don't get splatter on them. But I hate also flipping them to need the ingredients to what I need to do with them. So we need to place the eggs, ricotta. You could also use Greek yogurt or cottage cheese in this. We're also gonna put salt, onion powder, garlic powder, mustard powder, and black pepper into here. And we are gonna puree it until it's smooth. I also need to get my other muffin tin lined with those muffin liners because, again, I didn't realize that it was a doubled recipe. So we're gonna get 16 eggs in here. I just finished washing them. Look at how pretty these eggs are, like little speckles on them. So pretty. I love my chicken eggs. Got a nice colored green here. So awesome. You know, I probably should be cracking these in a separate bowl just in case we get a bad egg. It has definitely happened, and I do not want to waste a blender full of eggs. Let's see, I just got a shell in there. So it's always good to crack into a separate bowl. And then I save my eggshells and I actually feed them back to my chickens. It is really good calcium for them. Just kind of collect all the eggshells. Add 1 cup of ricotta to this. I'm just using this original ricotta. We need 2.5 teaspoons of salt. This is just some Redmond's real salt that I'm using. 2 teaspoons of onion powder. You notice that I put everything away after I use it, and it's because otherwise I don't know if I put it in or not. It's because I'm forgetful, so that's kind of how I do things. So we just added 2 teaspoons of a garlic powder, 2 teaspoons of ground mustard or mustard powder, and then 1 teaspoon of ground black pepper. Okay, let's get the lid on this. And we are gonna puree it until it's all mixed together. Okay, that looks good. Just get this out of the way. Righty, we gotta get the other muffin tin. If you don't have these muffin cups, what you could do is you could just spray your muffin tin. That's what it actually recommends to do. But I just want to use these because it makes for easy cleanup and it's easier to transport them, taking them to work and stuff or on the go. Okay, so we have to take this mixture and just pour it 3/4 of the way into here. That one might be a little bit too full. You know what, this is gonna make way more than it says it makes, which is good, a lot. And then we'll take some of our ham, just put a couple little pieces in of the ham. These do puff up quite a bit when you make them. At least they're supposed to. They did last time I made them. Okay, so there's the ham, and then we're gonna take a little bit of our spinach. If you're using peppers, obviously it's gonna be with the spinach because you're gonna saute them together. These first couple ones are just pretty much foam. Hopefully that's fine. Trying to break up the spinach a little bit, it's kind of in clumps. We're gonna take a little bit of our smoked cheddar cheese, whatever cheese you want to put on them, and then we're just gonna top them with the cheese. These also freeze really well, which is nice. We have to put these in the oven for 25 minutes. Oh, my glasses fog up. Okay, what am I saying? 25 minutes or until the eggs are set. And then it says, let them cool slightly and then run a knife around the edge. But because we put them in the muffin tins, we can just pop them out of that. It says, let them cool, and then you can store them in an airtight container in the refrigerator for up to 5 days or freeze up to 2 months. So we'll set the timer, before I forget, 25 minutes, and then we'll get our next batch going. Actually, we won't get the next batch going until those ones come out because I don't want them just sitting in there. So just put this aside. I'm gonna put the cheese back. I have some blue cheese too. I wonder what that would taste like on there. No. I'm gonna just leave the smoked cheddar because Steven loves that smoked cheddar, so I'll just stick with the OG. While those are in the oven, we're gonna get started on browning up our ground beef. It is pretty much almost all cooked through already. I half cook it when I can it, so we just kind of need to heat it up. We gotta add the taco seasoning to it. When I make my tacos or burritos, I have a pre-made taco seasoning. I'm getting pretty low on it, so I'm probably gonna have to do part 2 of that spice video soon. But anyways, we're gonna add this to make the burrito. I'm just gonna get my cast iron skillet a little warm. We've got a lot of fat on the top of these, which is fine. We will just add that in, it will add flavor. We also need to get some black beans. I wanna use black beans in the burritos for Steven. Pinto beans would be really good too to use in them, but we'll just use a can of black beans. The skillet's nice and warm. I'm gonna drain this a little bit. Get that heated up. Some people really do not like the taste of ground beef. One thing it reminds me of is, and I don't eat it anymore, but Steven sometimes does buy it as a treat, but it's that canned corned beef hash. That's what that taste kind of reminds me of a little bit. Because we have that liquid in there, I want to add some of this taco seasoning now. Should be enough. So the timer just went off. Let's check them. I don't think they're quite ready yet, but we will check them. The other thing that finished was we got the ground beef all cooked up. I got another batch to go in the oven. Take my glasses off so I don't fog up. Some of them look ready and some of them don't. This is what we have. You know what? I think they are done. Let's get a toothpick. Yeah, they're set. They are done. So we will get the other one in for another 25 minutes and then we'll get the burritos done while these are cooking. Let these cool. Last time I made these, Steven said that they were really, really salty, and I told him that this time I make them, I'm gonna watch the salt, and I completely put the same amount of salt in that was in them last time. So hopefully they're not too salty again. I completely forgot to write that down on my recipe. So let's hope that they're not that bad. So I just put that second one in and I still have this much egg mixture. So I have enough to probably make about 2 more of them. So once those ones cool, we'll get them out and then we can put a couple more in. I want to make sure I'm using everything. So yesterday I made my own tortillas. They're special. They definitely look very rustic. They're not really circles, but that's fine. They taste really, really good. So I'm just gonna save these homemade ones just to make the other thing we're gonna make today that I'm not gonna show you. You'll see it on the What We Eat in a Week video. Anyways, we're gonna use these tortillas. I picked these up from Azure Standard. I'm honestly not gonna be buying tortillas anymore because they are really, really easy to make. And me just buying them is just me being lazy, or just, yeah, lazy. That's what it's called. That's the right word, is lazy. So we're gonna get the burrito started. I need to get my ground beef over here. Oh, you know what? Steven also said he wanted olives. We have a couple already pre-chopped in the fridge. That's perfect. I asked him, I go, do you want olives? And he goes, duh, of course. He eats olives on everything. Shouldn't even had to ask. So we're just gonna take some of our meat filling and just put it in the middle here. I'm gonna try not to overfill these because I have a tendency to do that. I'm gonna put some black beans. I probably should get a spoon for the black beans. Lots of our smoked cheddar. And then we'll just sprinkle a couple olives in here. Okay, now I am not an expert burrito folder, so do not mind my inexperience. Okay, so we'll get that rolled up. We'll get some plastic wrap because these are going to go into the freezer. We'll plastic wrap them. And then we will use some aluminum foil. Them again. And then we will just write on here beef burritos and cheese. And then that way he can just take whatever he needs for work, and I'll just put them in a freezer baggie. So let's get the rest of them assembled. Make my own taco seasoning, and this was a stem from a tarragon leaf. Don't want to put the big stems in there. I don't have Mexican oregano, so when I make my own taco seasoning, I use tarragon in place of Mexican oregano because they have a very, very similar flavor profile. Mexican oregano kind of, this is from what I've read, it has a little bit of a licorice taste to it. So tarragon, I find personally, has very, very similar flavor profile. So I use tarragon in my taco seasoning instead of Mexican oregano. Got all of the beef burritos done. I just labeled the bag beef burritos, and then I will just put them in the freezer like this. We got 6 of them made. There we go. I have a little bit of beef left over, so I'm just probably just gonna eat this for lunch and then put these black beans into the fridge. Probably just make like a kale salad for lunch and put this on top of it. Couldn't find any lettuce at my local farmer's market this weekend. I was sad. I think these are cool enough that we can take out of the container. You see how easy they just slide out of these muffin things? Okay, let's give these a try. I'm really curious to see what these taste like. I'm hoping that they're not overly salty. Show you the insides. That's the inside of it. They're salty, but they're not overly salty. I think part of the salt is coming from the ham, to be honest. But they're really, really delicious. Really delicious. I feel like we have enough for 3 more. I think, I'm gonna guess 3 more. And then what I'll end up doing, because I'm only using 3 of these slots, is I'll end up putting water in the rest of them, and that way it just creates more steam. Ooh, we actually have enough for 4 more. I have some leftover spinach too, which is good because tonight part of the ham and cheese bakes is I'm gonna do one with like a cheese and spinach. It'll be yummy. Okay, so I'm gonna fill these up until the other ones are done, and then we'll get those ones in. I just realized now that I did not put my apron on this whole time. Oh, glass 6. We're checking the egg bites. They look good. Yep. Some of them feel like they maybe need a touch more. I'm gonna put them back in for another 5 minutes. That is gonna be it for today's video. I wanna thank you guys so much for coming along with me while I did this little quick morning project, just kind of getting some lunches made. A really good way to save money is just kind of bringing your own lunches every day to work. That way you don't have to have that extra added expense. So I hope you guys enjoyed it today. I wanna thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I hope you have a great day or night whenever you're watching this, and I will see you on the next video. Bye guys.